Good day everyone, this is Alvin again from the Philippines and welcome to my top 10 favorite national costumes at Miss Universe Philippines 2023. Welcome! So the national costume competition streamed 2 days ago and we were able to witness the amazing national costumes by all the 38 candidates competing for Miss Universe Philippines 2023, and the theme for this year's national costume is Ani, or translated as harvest, to emphasize the importance of agriculture in the country. So after looking at all the presentation of the costumes, I was able to select my top 10 favorites, and here they are in random order. So again, this is just a personal choice, so let's go ahead and double check if we share the same list of favorites. Starting with my number 10, Chaong Quezon, Afia Yaboa. I just love how she presented her costume in our local language, and she was the only one to do it. Also, I am impressed at how she stated the history of her town and the inspiration of her costume. The details were absolutely impeccable, and also, and most importantly, I am glad that she is making it personal at how she wanted to use herself to help the farmers, and everything that she said and she wanted to do were all presented on her national costume. I loved it. Number 9 goes to Isabela, Kimberly Acob. I loved her costume because it really pays tribute to the farmers, and I believe that it was done and illustrated perfectly. I am just amazed by each and every detail of the costume, from the headpiece to the different bilaos and the harvest, which is presented in gold. That to me was truly outstanding. My number 8 goes to AKLAN, Avery Sucgang. The costume was definitely screaming Filipino culture. I love the headpiece because Carabao is very iconic. The details on the top part was just wow. And same as the pattern at the bottom, it was amazing. Overall, I felt like it is a very impactful and well-made costume. Totally loved it, especially the very detailed top part. I love that. Number 7 goes to Northern SAMAR, Layla Adriatico. Of all goddess-inspired costumes, I think this is one of the real standouts. I mean, the headpiece covered and the design with shells and gems, I mean, absolutely mind-blowing. I loved it. I wanted to borrow it and wear it because it's just so beautifully made. I also love the flowy texture of the dress and the fact that it was all made in white. It was giving us that goddess vibes, and that's what I felt while watching her demonstrating the costume with her own execution. Love that. Number 6 goes to Quezon City, Eileen Gonzales. I love her costume because it emphasized how we have evolved in terms of farming, and it has been showcased in a fun, artistic, and creative way. I mean, both the front and the back of the costume look cohesive and perfect to look at, and I truly enjoyed it. One of the costumes that I was really hoping to see. We have seen some different innovations on how to do costumes, and that one was something that I was really looking forward to see. We have seen those kind of costumes in Thailand, and I'm glad that we tried to made it in our own version. So kudos to the designer of the costume. My number 5 goes to Makati, Michelle D. I mean, she was showcasing the golden harvest. First of all, I love how the costume was made. It felt like I would love to see it in an international competition. I mean, it really screams international stage. The headpiece was stunning, but the flapping wings made it look fun and alive, and I loved it. I loved it. Also, the color combination was just outstanding. Add on to that, Michelle came alive, and I was even surprised at how amazing she was in showcasing and executing those moves to truly present the costume that she was wearing. So even though she didn't win Best in National Costume, it was definitely one of the best. She was one of the clear standouts that night. Number 4 goes to my city, BACOLOD City, Jean-Marie Bordon. I was even surprised that they were able to make an amazing costume that I did not expect. My city, I just love how amazing the costume was. Personally, when you look at the costume, you can really say it's BACOLOD City. I mean, it really depicts and showcased important elements in the costume. Sugarcane were showcased beautifully. The train design at the back was so beautiful, and most importantly, it highlights the Mascara Festival, the mask that she was wearing, the festivals that we have here in the city, which is very meaningful and a real icon to the city, which is deeply connected to the highs and lows of the sugarcane industry. So whoever the designer is, amazing. I love how they were able to fuse all these important details to create this amazing masterpiece. Now let's go to my top 3. Actually, my top 3 was the same top 3 during the awarding, but in different order. So let's begin with my personal top 3. Starting with my number 3, Eastern SAMAR, Airissh Ramos. When she came out, I was completely amazed by how beautifully made the costume was. And what made me amazed as well is some details of the costume were hands-on by the students in a public national high school. And I think that gives more impact to it. Plus, she didn't just showcase the costume, she delivered an outstanding execution, and she was very consistent from the beginning to the end. And this won the Best in National Costume. And even though I only placed it 3rd on my list, I can definitely see why it won, and I believe she deserved it. My number 2 goes to Southern LEYTE, Kimberly Escartin. Another outstanding presentation of a rich agriculture and a perfect representation of the theme. The front details were amazing, showcasing all the different produce, the baskets, I love them, the costume and all those outstanding details, but the back part was also as impressive as the front part. A 3rd place finisher during the National Costume Awarding, and I am so glad that this got the recognition that they deserve, because this one is surely a costume that I was very proud to see on the Miss Universe Philippines stage. But my personal choice for Best in National Costume goes to BENGUET Joemay Leo, a perfect representation of a rich agriculture in Benguet. I love how unique the costume is in presenting and meeting the theme. I love her outfit as well because the details were incredibly stunning and definitely takes a lot of artistic minds to make. The baskets holding all those produce are also very iconic in the Philippines and probably in Benguet as well. Being known as the salad bowl of the Philippines, I believe that the costume has perfectly showcased that, and at the same time hitting the theme of this competition bullseye. So that's why this is my number 1 choice for the Best in National Costume. So that's it. These are my top 10 favorite national costumes at Miss Universe Philippines 2023, and I would love to know your favorites as well. So don't forget to leave your comments below. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and share the video as well. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe because you'll be seeing more of these videos in the future. For now, thank you very much and have a wonderful day from the Philippines.